But I also know that there's lots of people out there that don't have any idea what I'm about or my story or what really gives credibility to the work that I do and the work that I hope to do in the future as I grow and evolve. And I think it's important that we share our personal stories. It's actually something that's deeply important to me. Not only my story, but and how I choose to tell it. And I'm not talking about the specific experiences, but the perspectives of the experiences that I've had. And this is part of the work that I do with individuals. I'm a story capturer. When I sit with individuals, a part of the work that I do is to create the space for people to share their perspective of events that have happened in their lives. And in some instances, it's an opportunity to reframe those stories, to give different endings, or create different possibilities of a future that's yet to arrive. But before I go into the pillars of what Endeavours really stands for, I wanted to share a little bit of my story. Some people summit the 7 great peaks, like the actual physical mountains. Others, the peaks of change. My 30s were a complete whirlwind of change, from getting a degree to the death of somebody that I loved very deeply, which was my grandmother, and I still grieve her today, to becoming a mom and even being promoted, stepping into leadership, immigrating, separation, and in the next year or so, probably divorce. It will be divorce. To dealing with severe anxiety, postnatal depression, dating for the first time in my late 30s. That's a long but interesting story, which I've written a book about, and that'll be published hopefully by the end of the year. And then finding the real love of my life, and then slowly transitioning out of corporate into self-employment and entrepreneurship. But all through this, I burnt out. And it wasn't because of the crappy things. I mean, as you can see, a lot of the stuff I shared above was actually really beautiful opportunities that had entered my life. Life had really gifted me many, many wins, but somehow it also took away my health and to a very large extent, my happiness. Deep in that dark space, I realized how far away I was from living my life, my vision of success, my vision of fulfillment. And I had to get myself out of where I was. I'm sure you know the place. It's filled with that anxiety, the depression, the panic, the frenetic, high-paced energy, the push, push, push place. You'll start to feel it in your body. At one point, I couldn't even eat. I even had severe allergies. I was becoming allergic to life. Now, navigating the waters of those transitions and trying to find myself, reflecting on who I was, but more importantly, crafting who I wanted to be. And doing so deliberately and consciously has probably been one of my most difficult yet rewarding journeys I have ever taken. It led me to a really interesting place inside myself where I got to express the pain, the sorrow, the joy, the gratitude, the love, and the lust. I wept and bled my heart onto pages with special people. I still do. Through poetry and through stories, through moments and memories. And doing so helped me heal. It helped me see many different perspectives of the same experience and what I was choosing to focus my energy and attention on. It helped me move, and now it's helped me to help others. Each time that I've done this, and I still continue to do it, it feels like death. I just went through it on Friday again as I entered the 41st birthday of my life. It's harrowing, but I've come to love playing in that in between, the betwixt and the between, the place of no thingness, and the place where we feel torn between the polarities of who we were and who we want to be, but don't yet know what it looks like or even feels like. As we walk through the valley of the shadow of death, favorite line from Tupac, there is a moment to be still and to trust that you will come alive again. That's the space I play in, with you and for you. It's in the no thingness that has inspired me to create endeavors. It's that liminal space, and liminality is becoming more and more popular these days. But essentially, it's Arthur van Gennep that really coined the phrase. He studied rites of passage and rituals. And then there is this moment between who we were and who we're becoming where we are dissolved. We lack identity. And I sit with clients who often say, I don't know who I am, and I feel lost. But it's in that space where we get to explore who you want to be, the life you want to create, to get to architect, and underpinning that, and probably more importantly, the feeling you want to have living it. Because sometimes the life that we desire doesn't come with the pretty package that we painted originally. Together, we cultivate and nurture that process of discovery, of curiosity, and of experimentation with reverence, with the acceptance of the fact that you don't know where you are, you perhaps don't know who you are, and we approach it with curiosity, joy, celebration, interest, and experimentation to generate and navigate the new map of you. I've been through it myself. And every time you go through that death, you come out stronger, renewed, revived. It's not to say that those moments are easy, by no means at all, but knowing that you have somebody that can walk beside you and hold your hand, not to fix anything, but just remind you of what you're capable of, remind you of who you are, gets you to the other side.